Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we will look at a game which a student of mine and I played together about a week ago. The time control is 15 minutes with a 10-second increment. It was the London. A couple of words about my student. His name is Brandon. He's getting better and better at chess. He played a lot before COVID started, and then he took a break. But now he's back, and he's playing a lot of chess, and he's getting better and better. And this is a game that we played against someone rated 1449. So let's take a look. 96. 96 is not completely terrible. The problem with 96 is Black would like sometimes to play c6. Sometimes he would like to play c5. And also there are certain lines where our bishop can come here and cause trouble. We play d3, the main London line. Also knight f3, of course, is possible. Black plays a6, which is not terrible, but it's sort of a waste of time. Black needs to start developing, and a6 is not necessary. We play knight f3. As you can see, computer also wants to play pawn c4 because it wants to challenge the center. Black plays h6 again. This moves h6, a6. They're not terrible, and I noticed that a lot of people like to play those moves. Sometimes though they can be a waste of time, and a lot of the time they just don't do anything. We played knight e2, continuing with the London setup. Black plays e6, and again, as you can see, e6 is okay, but there is no need to lock the bishop inside of the pawn chain. We played c3 because Brandon likes the London. Again, c4 is a very useful option, but c3 is fine. This is very, very solid. Black developed the knight f6, and we have our main line London setup. Black challenges our bishop, and there are several possible ways you can respond to this. We can drop the bishop. The idea being is if he takes, we take with this pawn, and we open the rook. We can also put a knight on this nice square, or we can also just let him take, which is what he did. We'll let him take, and you're going to see how to play this games. We castled. Black took, we took. So at first it looks like we are giving up. We are doubling our pawns for no reason, but there is a point. So the point is we control the e5 square. We now have an open line here. And there are some lines where we could play f5 and try to open the position. And he does not have the e4 square because we have another pawn which can come and kick it. He castled, which is sensible. Play knight e5, which is fine. If he takes, we fix our pawns. He plays bishop d7, which, I mean, it pretends to develop, but it's not entirely clear where this bishop is going to go. We played queen e2, solidifying our control of e5, connecting the rooks. In fact, our rook a lot of the time wants to come here, and then we would like to make a rook lift. Knight h7. Knight h7 is a move which I didn't really understand. One possible idea could be that Black wants to play f5 and blockade this bishop. The downside of that move, though, is this pawn becomes weak. We brought our rook to e1. Maybe we're going to rook lift. Black took. We took back with f-pawn. Now we have more space. We control this square. We have ideas of f4, f5. And Black challenged us with pawn f6. There are many ways we can play this. We played f4. I didn't really want to take because then the knight would come back. And the idea is if Black takes, we're super happy just to demonstrate We take back. We take back with this pawn. We can also take back. In other ways, we can take with the queen and put a lot of pressure on this pawn. We can take with this pawn, and we have a great bishop compared to this guy. Our queen can counter g4. Our knight can play chess. We can even take with this pawn. All of this is great, which is why black played f5. Which makes sense, because black is suffering a little bit. His bishop is not very good. He has less space, but he also blocked our bishop. And for the time being, black is going to be okay. We play rook f3. The idea is maybe we'll bring the rook here, maybe we'll bring it here. And black played rook f7, which I didn't really understand. The reason computer wants to play bishop b5, and this is something incredibly incredibly useful to know. This bishop is not very good. He would like to trade himself for this bishop. At first, it looks like this just loses a pawn. But I want you to notice that if white takes, black takes, white takes, in the end, there is rook takes pawn. Which is why, if we go back, one of the moves, as you can see, which the computer recommends, is pawn a3. And the point is simple. Now, we stop any sort of ideas by black to trade bishops, and if black ever tries this, he'll just be down a pawn. The point of king h1 is to bring the rook and maybe push. He did the same thing with king h8. We play rook g1. Again, a3, it's possible and probably should be played on like every move, but we attack him and he never does this. Queen e7, he gets ready to bring the rook here. We play g4 to try to open up lines. And he plays rook g8, but now we don't have to worry about this at all, and we can continue to attack. And we play rook h3, and the point of rook h3 is maybe we're going to play g5, maybe we'll play this move, and we're going to continue to work on the king side. That's why we lifted this rook. This rook is now here. This is why we move the king. That rook is now here. And black goes for counterplay with pawn c5. We play g5, which is a nice move. If he takes, this does not end very well, because now this line is really open. In fact, we can just sacrifice the rook and checkmate on the next move, which apparently is brilliant. We also threaten to fork, which is why black plays the best move, pawn g6. Now we cannot push, but of course now this pawn is free, which we took. Rook h6. Black tried to run away with the king. We played pawn h4 with the idea that we will play pawn h5, we'll bring our queen, and we'll continue to attack. Black keeps running away, which makes sense. And here, as you can see, computer wants us to take. And the reason to take is after black takes, I mean, this is not terrible for black, but as you will see in the game, it's better for us to take than to let black take us. And you will see why shortly. So we played h5 in order to open up the position a little more. He played rook g7, computer wants him to take. The reason computer wants to take is after we take back, black can create some counterplay. And there are two weaknesses which we need to cover. This is why it was a good idea for us to take first, because then we don't have to, let's go back, we don't have any weaknesses of sorts to deal with. So let's go back. Play h5, black play rook g7. Again, we bring more pieces over here, but again, it's not a good idea to give black counterplay. Black solidifies everything here. We brought our bishop to come to the other side, and black finally takes. And now you will see that black will get some sort of counterplay. We took back with the pawn. bishop f7. Again, computer wants immediate counterplay. This is important. If you are being attacked, you don't want to just passively defend. You want to try to cause trouble. And now we take. We take. This is now open. Black has to take with the bishop to make sure the knight is defended. We brought our knight. The idea is to bring the knight here. Black tries to run away with the king. We brought our knight even more. We're double attacking the bishop. Black knight retreats. This is now double defended. This is actually the best move. If the bishop moves, we can just fork. So the knight defends the bishop. We took. Again, black has to be very careful if he takes with the rook. We bring the bishop and the rook is pinned. So black takes with the knight. We double attacked anyway. Black got out of the pin. And we decided to try to invade on the other side. Play rook c1. And the points we might play queen c2. And we might attack. And black plays queen before now. He should have done it previously. Now it's not a great idea. And the problem for black is there is entry from both this direction and this direction, which is why we took over here. Takes, takes, takes. Black did not take. Again, if he does, we simply invade with the queen. Black king has two squares. If he goes here, this one is quite a bit faster. We have a checkmate in 2. Check. Checkmate. Nothing special here. And if he goes here, this is even faster actually. Because we just have rook c7. It's game. It's game over. Attack from both sides. He realized a little bit too late that he couldn't take, but he's already down a piece. He tries to create counterplay, queen z4. But now we up a bishop, so we can just simplify. So we played queen c2. Again, we want to invade. Also, it's important that we are stopping this check. Okay, he checked anyway. We trade queens, and now, okay, it's still a little bit of work. We save our bishop, bishop f7. He checks. We bring the king. He invades, attacks the pawn. We push g6. We're 2 squares away from queen. We have to be careful to do this though, because this is going to be a fork. He took here for now. Play rook c3 with the idea to bring the rook here and push the pawn. And black brought the king. And we play rook g3 and black here resigned because we up a piece and this is getting very, very, very scary. An instructive game. It shows you how to build up your attack on the right side of the board. It also shows you another instructive moment. You don't have to just blindly follow your attack on one side of the board. Sometimes you can switch and come back from the other direction. Always keep your options open. And lastly, once you get to the end game, you don't always need to checkmate. Sometimes if you're winning, you can just simplify. Again, thank you everyone for watching. Great job to Brandon. If you watch this, I look forward to watching you continue to improve, and I will be back soon. Thank you.